Hello there everybody, GrimmChorizo here. Welcome to Ringside Predictions, where I give you my predictions for the upcoming WWE pay-per-views. This Sunday, we've got the Royal Rumble, and the day before, we've got NXT Takeover San Antonio. So let's start with my predictions for NXT Takeover. Roderick Strong taking on Cien Almas. Not a whole lot built around this feud, just a little bit, stemming from matches they've had. But it should be a good match. I could see it going either way, but I'm going to give the win to Cien Almas. I think that they've got more going for him. Roderick Strong, I think he's a very good wrestler, but I don't think there's a whole lot of interest, personally for me, not a whole lot of character. Where Cien Almas, I think, is doing great as a heel, and I think that he would be what they're trying to build up. Eric Young versus Ty Dillinger. Ty Dillinger, I want to say, because, he's got to get a win eventually, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I think Eric Young is going to win because they want Sanity to be this dominant force. So I think Eric Young is going to get the win over Ty Dillinger, and unfortunately, Ty will get another loss. The NXT Tag Team titles. DIY taking on the Authors of Pain. I know that DIY has only held it for a few months, but I think that the Authors of Pain are going to win the NXT Tag Team titles here. They want them to be dominant monsters, and I think they're going to end DIY's short reign right here. Fatal 4-Way for the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka defending against Billie Kay, Peyton Royce, and Nikki Cross. This is very intriguing because Asuka has been such a dominant champ, but she's only been putting the title on the line in one-on-one matches. In a Fatal 4-Way, she doesn't have to be pinned, which is why I think this is the opportunity to have Asuka lose the title. I'm fine if she keeps it, but I think that they've done this Fatal 4-Way to give her a chance to lose the title and still look strong. I think Asuka will lose the title, and I think Billie Kay will win the title after pinning Peyton Royce. They are a team here. I think Peyton Royce is going to, give her the assist and kind of let her pin herself so that they together can hold the NXT women's title. I think they've actually been pretty good as a duo here. So, and Nikki Cross, I could see it going to her for Sanity, but I'm going to predict Billie Kay. In the main event, NXT Championship, Shinsuke Nakamura versus Bobby Roode. I love that they're using Ghost Square Hammer to hype up this match. I love the song. I love the band. I think Shinsuke Nakamura retains the NXT title. I think Bobby Roode will get the title, just not yet. So I'm very excited for NXT TakeOver, and I'm also very, very excited for the Royal Rumble. I say this sincerely. Of all the predictions videos I've done, this right here, this pay-per-view, Royal Rumble, is the hardest to predict I've ever done. They've done such a good job building it, and I think a big part of that is because of the brand split. They've made people look like serious threats, and for the Royal Rumble match itself, I think there's probably at least 5 to 10 people you could say could win. So on the pre-show, we've got Nia Jax versus Sasha Banks. I'm going to go with Nia Jax. Nia is, their big dominant heel. They're going to want her to get a win, and Sasha they can still blame it on her injury that she suffered last month at the hands of Nia. So I think Nia gets the win. Also on the pre-show, Becky Lynch teaming up with Naomi and Nikki Bella to take on Alexa Bliss, Mickie James, and Natalya. I honestly think they could have had the women's title on the line here for SmackDown, but I understand Elimination Chamber's in a few weeks, so they'll have it there. So this is just a chance to feature not all, but most of their SmackDown women. I think that the heels are going to win because Mickie James just returned. They're going to want her to probably get the pin on Naomi to make her look good and strong. Also on the pre-show, Cesaro and Sheamus defending the Raw Tag Team titles against Gallows and Anderson. There will also be 2 referees. I think that is definitely going to play into the finish. I think it'll be something where maybe Sheamus is pinning Anderson, but Gallows is also pinning Cesaro, or somebody's tapping out. Maybe Cesaro's got Anderson or Gallows in the sharpshooter, while on the other side, Sheamus is going, Anderson or whatever has got Sheamus down. So one referee's looking at one's looking at the other, and they're like, he did it, he won, and both teams win, and which will just cause a draw, and Cesaro and Sheamus will retain the titles, or something like that. Charlotte Flair defending the Raw Women's title against Bayley. I think that Charlotte Flair will retain here because I don't think they're going to end her undefeated pay-per-view streak yet. I think that will happen at WrestleMania. This match should be good, though, and I think Bayley will get the title eventually, just not here. Neville taking on Rich Swann for the Cruiserweight Championship. I think that Neville, the king of the Cruiserweights, will get his championship here. He has been unbelievable since his return at Roadblock and entering the Cruiserweight division, turning heel, being a complete dominant badass. It would make no sense for him to lose here. He deserves to be Cruiserweight Champion, and I love Rich Swann, but I think that Neville, to continue this push they're going with, he needs to be the champion. Kevin Owens defending the Universal title against Roman Reigns. Chris Jericho will be suspended above the ring in a shark cage, and it's also a no DQ match. So they basically just throw on a fuck ton of stipulations for this. So, here's the thing. If you haven't noticed, Raw has all of their titles on the line here, and SmackDown only has one. I think that's basically saying that WWE still feels that Raw is better, but I think that SmackDown's going to steal the show here. Anyways, we're talking about the Universal title here. Jericho in the shark cage, I don't really care about that. They just did that at NXT TakeOver a few months ago, but whatever. I think that Roman Reigns is going to win because he is Roman Reigns. I think that Chris Jericho will do something very similar to what they did at NXT TakeOver in Toronto. He'll drop, a chain or some brass knuckles or something. Kevin Owens will hit Reigns with the title or, whatever. He'll use weapons because it's no DQ. Roman Reigns will still kick out, oh my god! And he'll overcome all the odds and win the Universal title. Yay. WWE Championship, AJ Styles defending against John Cena. This will be their third one-on-one match. Both of their matches, Money in the Bank, incredible. SummerSlam, amazing. This one is sure to be just as good. I'm super excited for it. And I think John Cena is going to get his 16th World Championship victory here at the Royal Rumble. I think he's going to defeat AJ Styles. I would like AJ Styles to retain to go into WrestleMania as a champion. He deserves it, but I think that they have other plans for AJ. Shitty plans that don't involve being in the main event of WrestleMania. And so I think John Cena wins here, goes on and defends it at WrestleMania. And the Royal Rumble match. This truly is the hardest to predict match I've ever had to predict. So just to name a few people who honestly I could see possibly winning. Braun Strowman, Undertaker, Goldberg, Brock Lesnar, Chris Jericho, Dean Ambrose, The Miz, Samoa Joe, Finn Balor, all of these guys I could see possibly win. But first, let's talk about surprise entrants. Like I said, I just mentioned Samoa Joe. I think from NXT, Samoa Joe will be a surprise entrant. I think that Finn Balor has a high probability of returning from injury here in this match. I think that Ty Dillinger from NXT will be a surprise at number 10. I think there'll be probably two legends. I don't know who. I want to say Kurt Angle, but I don't see it. So I'm just going to say two legends. I don't know. I mean, they bring in Kevin Nash a lot, maybe X-Pac, or DDP again. I don't know. It could be anyone, but I'm excited to see who they are. I think that they'll probably have a cruiserweight or two, maybe TJ Perkins or Brian Kendrick, maybe Tyler Bate, the UK champion. I think they'll throw all of them in there to fill out the rest of the thing. I think the final four, God, it's so hard to predict. Like, seriously, I spent so long before making this video trying to get it, but here's what I think. I think my winner is going to be The Undertaker. I don't want it to be The Undertaker, and I love The Undertaker, but pretty much if it's Goldberg, Lesnar, or Undertaker, it's just so lame and predictable. Lesnar and Undertaker are both won Rumbles before, and Goldberg is already super established and does not need to win the Royal Rumble. I want it to be a newer or someone who's never won before. Like, I'd like it to be somebody like Sami Zayn or Samoa Joe or even Chris Jericho. He's never won it before. He's older, but he's never won it, and it would go well with a story with Kevin Owens and whatnot. But honestly, I think it's just going to be The Undertaker. And I think he's going to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal title at WrestleMania, and I don't really want that, but I think it's going to happen. I think the final four is going to be The Undertaker, Randy Orton, Braun Strowman, and Sami Zayn. So you've got Undertaker, your legend. You've got Randy Orton representing SmackDown and the feud with the Wyatts. You've got Sami Zayn, the underdog, and you've got Braun Strowman, the monster. I think that Undertaker's going to win. I think it's going to come down to him and Braun, and Undertaker will eliminate Strowman. They already teased it a few weeks ago with Braun looking at the TV when Undertaker announced he was going to be in the Rumble, so you know there's going to be a confrontation there. I think Lesnar and Goldberg will kind of eliminate themselves earlier in the match. Not super early, but earlier. And yeah, I think Undertaker's going to win. But like I said, that's my prediction. As far as who I'd want to win, if I had to pick one guy I'd want to win, I'd honestly like to see it be somebody like Samoa Joe. But I'd also be happy with Chris Jericho, or Bray Wyatt, or Finn Balor, or Dean Ambrose, or something like that. Or Sami Zayn. Fuck yeah, Sami Zayn. But I think it's going to be Undertaker. So I'm super stoked for the Royal Rumble, and I'm very excited for NXT TakeOver as well. But Royal Rumble is always my favorite. I'm so excited. So thanks for watching my predictions, and I'll see you in a few weeks for the Elimination Chamber.